one of the things that I've been noticing about being here in Quito, I mean, in Quito is not any different than what I've noticed in Cuba, but being here for as long as I have this last month has been a lot of the locals, as I'm walking, they'll say like, tranquilo, tranquilo. Even today, as I'm walking through the park, I was kind of like about to, not run the guy down, but I was trying to go faster than he was going, and I was trying to go around him, and he said tranquilo, and it's like, slow down. You know what I mean? Like, slow down. And so in this video, I think the word is for you to slow down. Wherever you are at, whatever you're going through, whatever seems to be so pressing in your life, slow down. Because does it really matter? Like, no, in the long term, does it really matter what we are ready to knock somebody off of the sidewalk for, or zoom around somebody for? What? Where am I trying to go? Where do I have to be? And that's one of the things that I think, just as somebody from the United States, and particularly somebody from the East Coast, and then compounded with someone who spent 10 years living in New York City, that is a hard thing, It's a hard thing to feel like everything is not pressing. It's a hard thing to feel like everything does not require, you know what I mean? Like, all of my energy, and for me to be full throttle, and for me to be speed walking. Like, I'm speed walking and I'm going nowhere right now. Like, I'm literally going nowhere. So what is so important that I'm almost like trying to run up on a curb to get in front of the guy that's walking a little slower? And so this is a reminder to slow down. It's a reminder that your life is happening to you right now. And the more we put ourselves in these positions to where we feel like we have to always be running towards something, always neglecting the present moment, we miss out on a lot. You know what I mean? Like, we miss out on a lot of conversation with ourselves. We miss out on a lot of beauty. We miss out on talking to people. You know what I mean? We miss out on just so much. And so it's a lesson that I'm learning, especially in this new chapter in my life right now, where I get to spend more time with myself. I get to spend more time talking to myself. I get to spend more time out in nature. I get to spend more time being. My God, it's like, when we shift our lives, we also have to shift some of the standards that we held with the old life, and I'm calling it an old life because it is an old life, and it's honestly a life that I don't care to return to. You know what I mean? Like, when I was thinking to myself earlier today about like corporate America, thinking about like what my plans are next, and I realized that most of my career has been me working for myself, and corporate America is just this blurb, you know what I mean, in that story. And so for me, it's been this reminder to like get back in touch with who I am, to get back in touch with the sun, to get back in touch with my creativity, you know what I mean, to spend more time thinking about like the things that I want to do, to think about like the places that I want to go. And and also too, like, a lot of times that requires you to slow down. The creativity flows when you are slower. For me, at least, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm way more creative when I have time to, you see them ladies right there, they were just kind of like looking, like watching me. My creativity flows better when I am giving myself breathing room, when I am giving myself the opportunity to stop and to inhale and to talk to myself and to think about where I want to be at, to think about what I want next, not to think about what society's expectation is. And a lot of us got a lot of deconstructing to do, I think, in one of the videos that I did, I talked about how important it is to go into seclusion, because that's where your healing is going to be. And, and part of that seclusion is being slower. You know what I mean? Like, it's so interesting how life starts unfolding, like a lot of the things that I had said to myself in that video, how it's already starting to show itself in my life right now. You know what I mean? Like that shift that I talked about, that like that desire, that feeling of something greater coming, something like an elevation. I'm in that space right now, and I'm learning that in this secluded space, being slower, being quiet, you know what I mean? Like being intentional, all of that is what is going to work in my favor. You know, I'm realizing that like all of those things are the things that's going to get me to the place that I'm trying to get to. And quite honestly, the truth be told, I don't fully know what that place looks like. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, to like not know where you're going, to not necessarily have any place to be, but except for the only thing that you are focused on is being present, being in a noun, you know what I mean? Being available for whatever comes your way, being available for whatever is necessary. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure that I'm prepared for what is necessary. I want to make sure that I'm prepared for what is next. And that requires me to slow down. That requires me to slow down, because life is happening right around us. Life is happening and we are ignoring it because we are rushing to work, because we are rushing to party, because we are rushing to our friends, because we are rushing to that boy or that girl. You know what I mean? Like life is happening around you, and we are too much in a rush that it is passing us by. And my intention for this next stage of my life is to be more present, to be more open, to be more transparent, to be more vigilant, to be more in tune with what my gut is saying. You know, a lot of times we get ourselves into things that we know we shouldn't have been in. A lot of times we get ourselves into situations that our gut told us is the wrong way. And I'm just working on myself. You know what I mean? I'm working on being reminded, the same thing that I used to say any of the junior staff that will come onto our team, you know, because I know what corporate is like. I know that machine and that engine that can suck you up and make you become a mass producer. You know, I used to say to some of the junior staff is that remember that you are always, you know, you always have autonomy over yourself. Like, yes, you work at this company. Yes, this is your job, but you have autonomy over you. You know what I mean? Like this you own you, you know? And that is a reality that I've been also reminding myself, that not only do I own me, but I own my life. I own the direction of my life, the trajectory of my life. And I get to make the decisions. You know what I mean? I get to do the things that I want to do, and I get to say no to the things that I don't, you know? Which is super important. It's super important to be in tune with yourself in that way, of like acknowledging that, like, yes, I might work for this company. Yes, you know what I mean? Like I'm contracted or hired to do a job, but at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me, because the honest reality about all of this is that it's fake. This world is fake. Life is fake. Life in the sense of the construct of work and all of the things, you know what I mean? It's all fake. It's, you know what I mean? Like, and yes, some of you out there do great work that changes people's lives, that save people's lives. I am not one of those people who've been fortunate enough to do that kind of work. You know, I've worked a lot in, you know, marketing roles where we focus on the bottom line at all costs, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not necessarily the care of humanity. It is the care of the bottom line. And especially when an organization that you work with is owned by a private equity company. So you already know that the deadlines, the kind of, I had to shift gears. It actually started raining, like straight pouring down. That's the one thing I got to tell you about keto. It will start raining on you out of nowhere, like just out of nowhere. Like there's no warning. It's just the sky has opened and rain is pouring, and we're grateful for it all, nonetheless. But working at an organization that is owned by a private equity firm, you know, we have the deadlines, we have the huge financial obligations that the organization wants to reach every year, like most organizations, but it does not really leave for room for you to actually be about anything good, honestly. Because even the company that I recently worked for was a cybersecurity company. So there is some good there, because cybersecurity and breaches that happen is a big thing and it impacts us all. But it's hard to actually be about the work because you are so focused on the bottom line. And so of course I don't do the kind of work that saves lives, you know? And so for me, it's really just been about taking a break, moving slower to figure out where exactly I want to be and how can I best be of service to humanity. You know what I mean? Like, you get to a point where you're just tired of, we got to sell this and we want to increase this and we want to raise this much. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get to a place of, how am I contributing to society as a whole? And that is where I'm at in my life right now. And I feel like I've been there for really like the last 2 years. The last 2 years I've been in that mindset. The last year it's been burning me. You know what I mean? Like, we've got to figure this out. And so I've been able to just take a break, take a step back, and I'm using this time to slow down. I'm using this time to do what is important, which is to think clearly, to strategize, because I'm a strategist, and to get about the work, you know what I mean? And so wherever you are at, whatever you are going through, whatever, you know, is on your heart to change, to shift, you know, use that time to slow down, to think about where you want to be at. You know, oh, did you see that leaf? To think about where you want to be at, because life is passing us by. I said this, life is passing us by. And some of us are, my grandmother would say this, she actually said this about people who, my grandmother said this about people who speed, because years ago, somebody, I think, sped past her to like get through a light. And by the time my grandmother got to the next light, she said that person was in a really bad accident. And so she would always say, speeding to die, or you're in a rush to die. And sometimes we really are in a rush to die. We are in a rush to get to that next point, and that next point could be our demise. You know what I mean? So take it easy, slow down, give yourself a moment, think about where you at, think about what you want next, and act with some kind of strategy, you know? Act with some kind of strategy. That's what I got for you today. I hope you're okay. You know, I hope somebody is checking in on you. I hope somebody is asking you if you need anything. I hope somebody is really just checking on your welfare, because it is hard out here for a pimp. You know, no, it's really, the world is hard, and it's becoming harder, and it's toxicity everywhere. If you look at the news every day, it's negativity, negative energy, negative vibes, negative people. I hope somebody is checking in on you. And if nobody is checking in on you, I hope you're checking in on yourself, you know? Take it easy, slow down. Life is going to happen as it's supposed to be. Handle the controllables, control the controllables, because that's all you can do is control the controllables. Everything else, you got to let go. You got to let, breeze past you, because what you don't have control over, you don't have control over, you know? I love you. I'm grateful for you, for listening, for watching. And I hope wherever you are doing what's best for you, no matter what the people around you are saying, no matter what society is telling you. I hope you are doing what is best for your life, because you only get one. And once yours is gone, they're going to live theirs. Once yours is gone, they're going to keep living theirs. So I hope you living yours for you, because you got to be your number one supporter. You got to be your A1. Everybody else is whatever. Make sure you are riding for you. Take your time, be easy, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I'll see you in the next video.